I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Music Theory Tuition series where I work with you step by step through the ABRSM Discovering Music Theory grades. I'll work through every single exercise and explain everything you need to know. You can access information about the books I have available to help you on my website. Go to sharonbill.com. For advert-free and longer lessons, you can become a patron at patreon.com/SharonBill. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to stay updated. You can support this channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/SharonBill. Moving on, in the Grade 5 Discovering Music Theory workbook, we move on to page 74 and we get to look at some of the descriptions that are placed on music explaining how to use pedalling and different techniques on the piano. Now, we're asked at times to use the pedal on the piano, and unless it says otherwise, that usually anything to say just pedal generally is to do with the right hand pedal, the right foot pedal I should say, the sustain pedal. And so we could either have a little symbol saying to change the pedal here. We can show that the pedal goes down and up here. With pedal just generally left to the performer, or without pedal. Just don't use pedal in this particular section. Now here, when it says corda, this is relating to the left pedal, and that's because una corda literally means one string, and tre corda means 3 strings. And that's because on the piano, each key, when a hammer hits the strings, it hits 3 strings allocated to one key until you get down to the big bass notes. As the notes get very deep in the bass, there'll just be one string. And what happens is when you press the left pedal, a dampener sort of mutes 2 of the strings, so that of the 3 strings only 1 string will sound when you press the left pedal. The other 2 are kind of muffled, and you can really feel that in your fingers. As you hit the keys, you can feel that dampening effect, and then as you take the left pedal off, you are then restored to the note sounding 3 strings as usual. And also, perhaps do be aware that you can have the left pedal down at the same time as the right pedal is also doing its thing. They're not one or the other. You can have the left pedal down whilst the sustain pedal still works on that single string and on sustaining the notes there. Now, sometimes we're told to play particular passages with our left hand or our right hand. We could be crossing over parts and, kind of the composer will tell us to play it one way or another. So sinistra is left, mano is hand, of course, and destra is right. I always remember this as, in French, right is droit, main droit, so right hand, so MD is another way of remembering that D is the right hand, so droit. Of course, it's not main gauche because it's not really in French. That's just the way that I remember these. And then we have this kind of wiggly line that tells us to arpeggiate the chords. And so the chord, instead of being played all in one go, will be kind of separated out. Usually, they will actually be tied, so they will still all be sounding. So you will have that added on top of it. They won't be going separate. You may indeed need the pedal for such an effect if you can't reach it. But they will all be sounding. So by the end here, you've got all of these still sounding and they're added into the mix so that you eventually end up with all of those sounding together. Now, if we move on to exercise 5, we get some revision. And this will go over the page as well. And I suggest that you have a go, first of all, at choosing the appropriate answer for each of these questions. And do be careful with with multiple choice. Don't just presume that makes it easier, because oftentimes there's a little bit of a red herring to throw us off the scent, and we might just not quite read it carefully and choose the wrong one just because we've not looked carefully. So first of all, yes, by all means do go ahead, and then I would perhaps even go as far as make the most of this opportunity and find words and give definitions to every single one, just to give you some extra revision. So do your best at sort of giving the definitions for every single word, just to give yourself some extra practice. So we need to choose the correct answer, and I'm hoping that you've had a go of this. As I always say, I know that I'm repeating myself, but it's so much better to learn by your mistakes. So we're always told that langsam is slow, and here's another German word we've just learned. This is the ruhig, which I think is easily associated with that peaceful definition. And then here we have the root word more, l'amour, which is a little morbid. You can see the word association there, and we are dying away, not just in terms of volume, but just generally in the whole sense of the performance. And then here we have an example of the arpeggiation as we spread the chord upwards. Remember, it always goes upwards. That could be the piano or the harp. It's nothing to do with the pedals, it's literally to do with the pitch. So we've got a few words to think about here. So tranquillo is calm, but don't get sidetracked and just tick. We've got some more words to go at here. Con is with, so it can't be that. And dolor is grief. It's that sorrowful, dolorous, in the doldrums, as I say. So calm with grief. And here is my fave, attacker, going straight on, just pressing straight on, attack it, go for it, go straight on to the next piece of the music. Let's turn over and we'll continue. So here we have vite. This is where I need my cappuccino quickly. Vite, vite, quickly. Here is the lebhaft, which I remember is kind of, it's got waft, it's got some waft, it's lively, it's vivace is a similar word. MD, that's to do with our hands, and it's to do with which hand is playing what, and we can either think of it as the official mano destra, so D is to do with the right hand, or I also find in French main droit, that helps me to remember droit is right, and so with the right hand. Now then, which of these is fastest? And so massig is moderate, lent is slow. These are going back to grade 1, Andantes is a steady walking pace, allegro is our fast. And which is the slowest? So we can see that modere, or I always pronounce that wrong, I think, modere, because of the grave accent, that's moderate. Schnell is fast, like vite, schnell, schnell. It just sounds like someone's nagging me to hurry up, getting the tea ready or something. And so langsam is slow. We know that allegro from previous grades is fast, so there is our slow. Now tre corda, tre means 3 strings. And that means we've been at 1 string, una corda, and we're now told to release the left hand pedal and revert back to 3 strings playing per note. And so we're to release the left pedal because we want 3 strings now, not 1. Now then, here we have which word means sad. Well, Logment is kind of you can see that largo association, that's to do with tempo. Lebhaft, that's the, with waft, lively. Morendo is the dying away. You might be forgiven for thinking that, but that's not the case, it's the traurig. sonorous. Sonoro is resonant. We can see the root word there. And then without, well, con is with. Schnell is a tempo direction. Sotto means under. Sotto voce. Senza means without. And that's that chapter completed. We will get some more practice on these words and performance directions, but I suggest we leave it until we attempt the paper, and we'll take it in turn when that comes. So perhaps a little bit of revision in preparation for that would be helpful. I hope this is helpful to your studies. Please do like and subscribe to stay updated. If you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee, and for advert-free lessons you can become a patron. Do visit my website where you'll find many resources available to help you. Visit sharonbill.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.